Hi, I'm Missy Abel with the Horse Human Connection Matrix and with In Rewilding Together Retreats. And Lynley's got me here on Zoom, and we're going to have a little chat.
Hey, awesome. And I am Lynley Welte with Lynley Welte Coaching, EFT practitioner and mindset coach. And we are here today to talk a little bit about our upcoming retreat and share why we're excited about it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this for so long, and it is only when I finally set the intention to make it happen that the pieces started to fall together. And God or spirit or whatever you want to call it kept bringing me people and talking about healing retreats for a good long time. I took a few steps in the beginning, and then something happened that was too big to ignore, a possibility about doing retreats on a very beautiful, large piece of land at the coast, that made me say, okay, I will do this. I will take it on. I will set the intention. And I realized that my whole life, what I've done to take care of my own nervous system makes so much sense from a neuroscience perspective that I did not understand until like the last year, about my own sensitivities, my own overwhelm, what it's like when I go to town, what it's like when there's a lot of people around, what it's like when life just gets too hectic. And I've spent my life as a dancer, not as a competitive dancer or a professional dancer or even a performance dancer, but just dancing because it felt good in my body. And as a younger person, if 6 months went by and I hadn't been to a dance class, there was something wrong. Just something was really wrong. Same with building cob, building mud. A long time ago, I saw a cob house on a website and I just fell in love with it. And I said, I have to do that. I have to do that. And what I found is that the process of being in the mud all day was really calming, that this really forgiving building material allowed other people to learn life lessons about being hard on themselves, about community work, about many hands make light work, about approaching problems in making a building both as form and function, and having conversations about it and hearing from everyone. All of these things that I've done in my life have led up to this moment, have led up to leading retreats, have all the work I've done with horses, 10 years of dabbling in equine assisted learning and teaching leadership to people through horseship. And that's my word, horseship, not horsemanship, not horsewomanship, horseship, the relationship
And so
built with a horse.
okay, there you go. I was just going to ask, when you say horseship, what exactly is that? And so I'm curious, and I'm sure our audience is curious, like what exactly is this retreat about?
This retreat is about ancestral rhythms like dancing, drumming, sound baths, observing in nature, forest bathing, dropping into a place where we slow way down.
Mhm.
And it's in that place that we understand ourselves better. We understand our motivations. We understand our emotions. We understand how and why we are connecting with other people.
And why do you think that's important right now more than ever?
More than ever, because of our fast-paced tech world. Like, things are changing so fast. A lot of what I talk about in the podcast is how the world has changed, how there's this like overreaching dominance, and some of that dominance to me feels like the programs that we run, the belief systems we have that are imposed by society about what we should do and what's normal, and what corporate culture has trickled down from their customer service into how we interact with each other. And it's horrible. It's not like it used to be. I'm 62 years old, and the way the world has changed since I was in my 20s is way greater than the way it had changed for my grandmother in that same span of years.
Totally. So it sounds like this is an opportunity for people to really ground and reconnect to themselves. It's an opportunity to step away from the noise of the corporate life, of the world, of our day-to-day distractions and life, and reconnect with our wholesome selves, as you said, our ancestral rhythms.
Yeah,
What's
part of
normal.
exactly part of what's happened, especially with younger people and with older people, even people my age, is we're so used to being on our device, and our attention span has shortened. Our attention to detail and emotion, like what started as connection using a device, a computer, a phone, is now it's spontaneous, it spurts, but it doesn't contain context. Often it doesn't contain emotion. It's not real communication. It's
So we're really supporting each other to not only connect with ourselves, but with each other.
exactly.
And get back to like, okay, what is that again? How do we be human again?
Exactly.
That's what I feel is really connecting not just with this human, with our physical body, which is most important, but we've got to also learn how to connect and be with each other.
We do. And you know, there's one exercise we do in the retreats that comes from some workshops that I assisted with for 12 years on and off. And it's a way that we interact with each other where there's so much information available to us that we don't recognize or take advantage of because we're going so fast, because we're making assumptions, because we just don't take the time to look at somebody in the eyes and slow down enough to say, what are they feeling? What was their day like? To absorb maybe some of their past experiences, which, if you look, you can see in someone's eyes. You can see behind their eyes what's really going on. You can see in their face when we take the mask, that plastic smile off, when we take that off and we relax our face and we connect with each other, we can feel what's happening. And I was diagnosed with autism 2 years ago. And so there are no doubt pieces of social interaction that I miss. And there are maybe even pieces of facial expression that I might be missing. But I've learned to compensate. And everybody can take what I call compensating, is just whatever they're taking in, they can take in more. And that's part of what we're teaching too, is how to use your intuition, how to see beyond the face and the social normalities to what's really happening. And that's a different connection altogether.
Yeah. Yeah. And as you and I both know, this work is so needed. I mean, I feel like it's necessary work. It's necessary because we've almost lost it. We've lost what it means to get our feet on the ground on our bare foot. The simple thing of getting our bare feet on the ground to feel our earth, to feel each other, to feel that connection. And so can you just share a little bit about, logistically, where is this retreat happening? How long is it? Anything?
Sure. So
When is it?
the first retreat is 2.5 days. It is October 10th through the 12th. We begin on Friday evening and we end on Sunday afternoon. People are invited to stay at campgrounds and lodging near the site, which is in Glide, Oregon. And it's a beautiful 10-acre farm. There are horses and there's a creek. So some of the elements of the retreat are ways to connect more deeply with each other, interfacing with horses, interfacing with somatic movement, interfacing with somatic movement and horses, which is really exciting.
That's
And
awesome.
some art and visioning and working with intention. Like, I'm a huge believer in intention, which is where we started this conversation. It wasn't until I set the intention that things began to fall into place. And I want to be able to teach other people about that too.
That's exciting. Well, I am very excited. I know that the work that you do with horses, the work that we've done together, just one-on-one, also in the groups, has been life-changing. There's so much that the horse work has to teach us about ourselves, about each other, and it is my hope that this is something that becomes more familiar with people, what it is that we can learn working with with horses, with each other, and creating that space where this isn't a new thing, but this is something that is more common and more understood.
Absolutely. So I can speak a little bit to that. The timing of this is absolutely amazing. There's a movie coming out soon. It's being marketed dribbled little bit by bit. It's called Rescued Hearts. And these two women have gone out and spent a year or two filming all over the country, all over the world, the work that horses do with people in the way of relational work, horseship relational work. And they are wonderful healers. And it goes both ways. There are horses that have been abused and neglected that need people as much as these people need horses. And the magic that happens when they come together is it blows my mind. So many amazing stories. And horses have taught me about how to open my heart. They've taught a lot of people this. There's a heart resonance, a heart math that happens with horses. They teach belonging because no member of a herd doesn't belong, even when leadership is usurped for the good of the herd. That former leader is still a trusted consultant in the herd. I mean, that may sound like a big word to think about horses interacting that way, but they actually do. They have intelligence levels and emotional intelligence that most people just don't understand. But people are being drawn to them, and they really do have a lot to teach us, not just slowing down and belonging and how to open our hearts, but how to live with each other in a herd in a way that whatever dominance happens, it's good for the collective, which is quite different than some human situations.
Well, this is exciting. I know that we could talk for quite a while longer.
I know, I could
but
go on and on.
want to keep this kind of short and sweet. But if anybody has any questions about the retreat or they want to get more information, I believe they can just go to the website. We'll link that below. And is there any other way that they can reach out to you?
There's an email at info@rewildingtogether.net. And the website is www.rewildingtogether.net. Both of those. And like you say, you'll put them in the chat. I'll put them in the chat. Thank you. This was a great idea to talk about it, Lynley. I am so excited for the upcoming one.
Me too. I think about it all the time, just excited for all the things that we're bringing in and just more horse time. I think that's the piece that I'm looking forward to the most is being able to have more of that time with the horses and learning from what they have to do and share with us.
I just want to say too that like this team has come together in the most like synchronistic, like crazy way of
beautiful.
And so, we have Aubree Gale, and we have Gianna, and we have Nichole Johnson Romero, Lynley Welte, and myself, Is She Able? And we will be the team of the retreat and hold the space, cook delicious meals, and see that everybody is nourished in so many ways.
All righty. Amazing. Thank you so much, Ishi. And I'm sure you'll be seeing us again.